A very good morning, welcome. It's Jeff Laughton online on Saturday the 22nd of November for what is without doubt the best day's jump racing since probably the Grand National meeting in April. Many of the top stars are opening the season today with a view ultimately to performing at Cheltenham in March, and I'm going to cover as many of those races as possible for you today. As you can see, I'm still in sunny Tenerife for another 8 days. It's a little cooler today, but still nice and bright, and sitting at probably about 22, 23 degrees at the moment. Now, I've put up 3 strong bets today on my private service. If you're interested in knowing what they are today or any other day, then you can drop me an email at the email address below, which is jefflawtonmanagement@gmail.com. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so, because unlike the summertime, I only put these videos up infrequently, and if you subscribe, you'll be notified when they go live. So let's start today at the best meeting, which I think is Haydock. And in the 12:08, this looks a really interesting race. Massman was very impressive in his Irish point-to-point win before demolishing a reasonable field on his debut under rules and unstable debut at Chepstow last month, when he won by 12 lengths, hardly coming off the bridle. The third horse that day, Doctor's Hill, won yesterday to give the form some substance. But it was only a novice hurdle, and Stick to the Plan of Ollie Murphy's has already won a listed race when based in Ireland, before changing stables and then winning the Grade 2 Persian War Novices Hurdle at Chepstow in October. That would be a long way in front of what Massman has so far achieved, and though he could improve plenty for his debut, he will need to get to Stick to the Plan, even though he receives £5. In the 1:15, Cabrel du Matin has changed stables from Paul Nicholls to Dan Skelton and has been well back this morning into around 6-4. He looks the most likely winner today, but I think there are better 6-4 chances. In the 1:50, we see the reappearance of the Jukebox Man. He's unbeaten so far over fences and looked a real top-class prospect when last seen on Boxing Day at Kempton in the Cato Star Chase, which is a Grade 1 race. He got injured after, and that's why we haven't seen him since. And he takes on Iroko today, who was 4th in last year's Grand National, but that's over 4 miles, 2.5 furlongs, so I don't see the drop back to 2 mile 5 as a plus, especially as his long-term aim this year is the Grand National again. He's also a better horse on soft ground. The Jukebox Man has done plenty of work and shouldn't lack for fitness, and he ought to be winning this today. Excuse me. In the 3 o'clock, which is the Grade 1 Betfair Chase, this looks another top-class renewal. Grey Dawning finished second in this race last year, but there was torrential rain beforehand, and the ground turned very testing. Today's good to soft in places should be perfect for him, and I know he has done a lot of work over recent weeks. Haiti Colors continues to improve and finished off last season by winning the Irish Grand National. He started off this season over hurdles and even managed to win that. He's definitely a horse on the up, but the handicapper rates him £12 below Grey Dawning, and he'll have to improve plenty. Over at Ascot in the 12:25, this looks like a perfect opportunity for Off the Jury to break his duck over hurdles. He was recently sold at the David Maxwell dispersal sale for $250,000, and he's having his first start for the Mickey Bowen yard. We last saw him in March in a Premier Handicap when he looked like he was going to win, only to be nabbed on the line by a horse that came from the clouds. The winner and third from that race both won next time off marks of 129 and 133. And he certainly doesn't meet anything of that calibre in this race. The other big plus is that David Maxwell will not be riding him, and that should see a fair amount of improvement in this and all his former horses, to be fair. Assuming that Off the Jury is fit enough for this seasonal reappearance, then he should take all the beating against opposition who have shown just okay form so far. The 1:30 looks a cracking race. It's the Ladbrokes 1965 Grade 2 Chase. We see the winner of this race for the last 2 years, Pic D'Orhy, last year's Arkle winner Django Bay, and Ile Francais, who won the Cato Star Novices Chase 2 years ago and was then just touched off in last year's King George on Boxing Day at Kempton. Now, he's thrown in one or two iffy performances along the way, but this is a horse who needs a flat track and needs to go right-handed. He also handles quick ground, and if they let him get his own way in front, he could be very hard to peg back. Obviously, with the other two horses in pursuit, he won't have things all his own way, but if at his best, he could be too good for these, especially getting weight from them. In the 240, we see the reintroduction of Gordon Elliott's Woodhoo. Originally trained on the flat by Sir Michael Stout, where she was only rated 72, she then moved to Ireland and she was a revelation, being unbeaten in 7 hurdle races before meeting the mighty Lossiemouth in the Grade 1 Aintree hurdle obviously Aintree in April, and only gave best in the last 100 yards. Now she takes on Celtic Dino today, but he's rated £10 inferior to her and also asked to give her a £7 fillies allowance. However, he has had a run this season, whereas Woodhoo returns from a 233-day absence, but if she's anywhere near fit enough, she should be winning this. In the 345, Paul Nicholls runs Absolutely Doyen. Now, he's won his last 2 races since moving to this yard, and he's only gone up £2 for those 2 victories, and he could still be dangerously well handicapped. Now, I've nothing to report at Huntingdon or on the all-weather, so remember, if you do want to know what my 3 big bets are today, then drop me an email at the email address below, and many thanks for dropping by, and I'll speak to you as and when I've got something that's worth telling you. Thank you.